Hi guys, Howard again. But before we get to look at this camera, I'd just like to wish everybody a happy and healthy 2025. And to my 1,058 subscribers, my heartfelt thanks for all your support over the last few years. I really do appreciate it. Okay. There were various models of the Konica III. The main differences were that the earlier ones had Konica Rapid MFX shutters, which were built in-house, and the later models used Konica MXL shutters, which were bought in from a supplier, the L standing for light value system. Released in 1957, mine is the first model with a Konica shutter and is a beautifully built camera in keeping with Konica cameras of that era. Although fairly compact, it weighs a very solid 780 grams, 27 ounces. Mine has the very highly regarded Hexanon f2 48mm lens, 6 elements in 5 groups, and the Konica MXL shutter with speeds of B and 1 second to 1/500th. The lens appears to be single-coated. For the first time ever, they introduced a bright line frame in the viewfinder, a massive improvement for those of us who wear glasses, me included. No automatic parallax correction yet, but a huge improvement nevertheless. The rangefinder is also very bright, in my example at least, and they appear to have really tried to improve this feature. Unfortunately, the MXL shutters incorporated the EV system, and on my model, designated L1, the aperture and EV settings are on the bottom of the lens barrel. Certainly not ideal, having to turn the camera upside down and read and adjust them. On the later model, designated L2, this was rectified, and the apertures are on the top along with the shutter speeds. Okay, so let's have a look at my lovely Konica III. Well, there it is, a beautiful, handsome camera. I'll just take off the equally lovely metal lens cap. Quality all the way with these guys. Okay. Now, I know I've said it before with my 2A and my 3M, but you really have to feel these to appreciate the quality. They feel as if they've been carved out of a single piece of brass. And the 3, this one, the 3A that followed, and the 3M that followed that, are the last of what I call the Leica quality rangefinders. They are built to absolutely the highest standards imaginable. Okay, and these were the last of them. This one, the 3A that followed it, and the 3M, of which the 3A is really the one to get if you're looking at buying one. All right, let's have a look here. So there's the lovely little f2 Hexanon lens, 6 elements in 5 groups. Beautiful little lens. Over here we've got a very nice, strong timer. So you can move it around to various degrees depending on how much time you need to rush back and get your photo, get your selfie taken. And these external types with their own mechanism are very reliable. The ones later on built into the shutter, into the lens barrels, just aren't really worth messing around with. They're very inconsistent. You can lock up the whole shutter and be in all sorts of trouble. So if it's this type of mechanism, great. If it's one of the inbuilt ones, steer away from it. We've got the rangefinder window, the viewfinder window with its lovely bright line frame in there to help us glasses wearers. Big improvement. It's hard to say just how big an improvement it is until you see it. Here we've got the shutter cocking mechanism. It requires 2 strokes to transport the film and cock the shutter. So interesting system. Ergonomically not the best. I prefer the normal lever wind on top, but very strong and very reliable. All right, looking on the bottom here, now this is where some of the problems start with this shutter. On the bottom here you'll see on this bottom, this ring is split in 2 halves. The bottom half has got numbers from 2 to 18, and they're the EV numbers. Just ignore them. Above them we've got the f-stops, so we've got F2 around to F22. Don't ignore them, we need them. And here's the little pointer that goes around in little click stops. So if you want to take a shot, say at 100th of a second at say F8, put the speed on 100th up here. So you've got, there's your shutter speeds around to a 500th from 1 second and B. Bit hard to read, but you know, they're fine when you're using the camera itself. So we put this on 100th of a second, which is actually on at the moment. So you do that before you move the shutter, and then say you want f5.6, just click this around to 5.6. And that's, you've got 5.6 at 100th of a second. Round the side here, we've got a little PC sync socket for a corded flash gun, because it's a cold shoe on top. And we've got 3 settings here for 3 different flashes. There's M, F, and X. M and F are for different speed flash bulbs, and X is for electronic. And the little selector is this little red thing here. You need your fingernail to move it. I won't bother, but it does go to all 3 positions. I thought when I got this camera, I thought initially it had been broken off flush, but no, that's the proper little thing. So you've got to get your fingernail in there to move it around. So yeah, so you leave that on X. Okay, we've got a couple of strap lugs on the front as well, and we've got a lovely little knurled thing to move the focusing, and that's very smooth and a very short throw, as you can see, from 2 feet to infinity. Okay. All right, let's go to the top. All right, so we've got the distance scale here from 3 feet to infinity in feet. There's no meters here. And we've got the little depth of field scale there as well. So your focus point is to that little arrow just there. And yeah, no, that all works absolutely beautifully. We've got the top of the shutter cocking mechanism. And directly on the top here, we've got a standard rewind knob with a little crank handle and an arrow in the right direction with the letter R saying rewind, but you always rewind clockwise. Very proudly on top, we've got stylized word Konica, model Roman numeral 3, and the serial number, cold flash shoe. We've got the shutter button here where they come, a lot of them get lost, but they come with a little, what's considered a soft button to just make it a little bit more pleasant to press the button. And to use a standard cable release, you can just unscrew that and screw the cable release in. And because of the lovely clean top, because there's no film advance over here, we've got a very clear and easy to read frame counter. On the back, we've got the viewfinder with the nice little rangefinder patch in the middle, and on the bottom we've got the release button for the film rewind, a standard 1/4-inch tripod mount, and this mechanism for unlocking the back. So as you can see at the moment, there's a little arrow and to the words letter C for closed, and we've got O for open over there, and with the little arrows pointing either way. So you get your fingernail, lift it up, rotate it anti-clockwise, and then just press it, and the back opens. Okay, very standard in there. To load a film, pop it up, put the cassette in, shut it, bring it across. There's thin slots here, poke them all the way through. Just make sure to sink down the bottom that they're on the thing, and then wind it through, make sure it's taking up properly. Shut the back. Now when you shut the back, you haven't really shut the back, because see, when you put it down, it just springs open again. So clicking it shut is not enough. You have to remember to lift this up, rotate it the other way, because you'll see there's a disc under the handle there with a little cutout, and the cutout comes around this little tab, and then when you press down, you press the tab through the cutout, and that gives us the clearance to release. But unfortunately it also sits proud, so when you set the camera down on that, it just opens. So it's a bit of a trap for young players, so make sure you always get it around and have the arrow facing the letter C. Okay. What can I say? A beautiful high quality camera, high quality lens, just superbly built. The Konica III. L1, although the L1 never shows anywhere on it, it isn't what's classified as an L1 model. Okay, well look, thanks very much for watching. If you've watched till now, you've done really well. That's great. Thanks very much. And don't forget to subscribe and like. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.